In a small, peaceful village surrounded by green hills and chirping birds, there lived a kind and loving grandmother named Achama. She lived alone in a little mud house with a thatched roof, but she was never lonely, because she had a clever little hen named Kazi. Kazi was not like other hens. She had shiny golden feathers, bright eyes, and she understood Grandma's words. Every morning, Grandma would say, "Kazi, time to wake up," and Kazi would cluck cheerfully and come hopping to her. She laid one egg every morning, and guess what? Sometimes it was not just an egg, it was a golden egg. But Achama never got greedy. She would smile and say, "Thank you, Kazi. Let's keep this safe for a rainy day." She would give away most of her vegetables to neighbors, help children with stories, and always share her warm smile. One day, a man named Gopana, who lived nearby, noticed the golden eggs. He became greedy. "If I had that hen, I'd be rich," he thought. One night, he sneaked into Grandma's yard and tried to grab Kazi. But Kazi was too clever. She flew up, flapped her wings, and made such a loud noise that it woke the entire village. Grandma came running out with a lantern. The villagers gathered with sticks and torches. Gopana was caught. "I'm sorry," he cried. "I was greedy. I just wanted to be rich." Grandma looked at him kindly and said, "Gopana, gold may shine for a moment, but kindness shines forever. Kazi gives golden eggs because she is happy and loved, not because she is forced." From that day on, Gopana changed. He helped Grandma with farming, carried water, and even built a new chicken coop for Kazi. Kazi forgave him too and gave a golden egg every week for the village school fund. The whole village celebrated Grandma and Kazi's friendship and remembered one important thing. Moral: happiness and kindness bring more blessings than greed ever can. Once upon a time in a peaceful village, there lived a cow named Coco. Coco had the greenest field all to herself, filled with soft grass and juicy flowers. She was proud of her field and never let any other animal come near it. One hot summer day, the sun was shining bright, and the grass in the nearby fields started drying up. Many animals didn't have enough to eat. A hungry goat named Gilly came to Coco and said politely, "Coco, may I eat a little grass from your field?" "All our grass is gone." Coco shook her head and said, "No. This is my field. I worked hard to find it. Go find your own." One by one, the other animals, a deer, a rabbit, even a little bird, came and asked for help. But Coco turned everyone away. That night, a big storm came and destroyed Coco's fence. All her grass was washed away in the rain. The next morning, Coco walked sadly around the muddy field. She was hungry and tired. She went to the other animals and asked, "Can I please have a little food from your field?" At first, the animals were unsure. But Gilly the goat said, "Everyone deserves a second chance. Let's help her." They all shared their food with Coco. Touched by their kindness, Coco felt ashamed. From that day on, Coco promised never to be selfish again. She built a big, open field where everyone could eat and play together. Moral of the story: sharing brings happiness. When you help others, help will find its way back to you. Once upon a time, in a lively little farm, there lived a pig named Pogo. Pogo wasn't just any pig, he had a shiny, golden mouth. It wasn't real gold, of course, but it looked golden because of how clean and bright it always was. Pogo had a special habit. He always spoke kind words to everyone. He would say, "Good morning, pretty hen. You look lovely today. Hello, Mr. Bull. You're strong and helpful. Hi, little lamb. Your wool is so soft and nice." The animals on the farm loved to hear Pogo talk. His words made them feel happy, brave, and important. Even when someone was sad, Pogo's words could cheer them up. One day, a grumpy duck named Dodo waddled into the farm. He was always complaining. He said, "This farm is boring. These animals are silly. And that pig, why does he talk so sweetly all the time?" The other animals told Dodo, "Pogo has a golden mouth because he spreads golden words, kind, caring, and true." Dodo laughed. Words can't be golden. That's silly. That evening, it started to rain. The animals rushed into the barn, but Dodo slipped and fell in the mud. No one noticed, except Pogo. Pogo ran to him and said gently, "Are you okay, Dodo?" "Don't worry, I'm here to help." He helped the duck up and gave him a warm blanket. Dodo looked at him and said, "Why are you helping me?" "I was mean to you." Pogo smiled, because kind words and actions are more powerful than anger. From that day on, Dodo changed. He tried to speak kindly like Pogo. Slowly, his words started to shine too. Not in gold, but in goodness. Moral of the story. Kind words are like gold. They make hearts shine and friendships grow. Deep inside the lush, green Jamboree jungle, where the trees whispered secrets and the rivers sang sweet songs, all the animals were buzzing with excitement. A big event was coming up, the annual Jungle Magical Show. It was the only day in the year when the mysterious magician, Professor Hootle, the wise old owl, performed incredible tricks for the entire jungle. Every animal, big and small, was preparing for the grand day. Tico the tiger was brushing his fur until it shined like the sun, Lola the lizard was practicing her drum beats, and Bobo the bunny was hopping around telling everyone the latest gossip. "I heard Professor Hootle can pull stars out of his hat." "No," piped in Mina the monkey. "Swinging from a tree, he can turn bananas into balloons." Meanwhile, hidden in a quiet corner of the jungle, Zazu the zebra, who was shy and hardly spoke, watched the preparations quietly. Zazu had a secret. He had been practicing his own magic tricks in secret using jungle leaves, vines, and sparkly river stones. At last, the magical evening arrived. A giant clearing was decorated with colorful vines, flower petals, and twinkling fireflies. All the animals gathered around the big stump stage. The jungle drums rolled, parrots flew in formation, and then a cloud of glitter burst into the sky, and Professor Hootle appeared with a swirl of wind and a big purple hat. "Welcome to the magical night," he boomed. "Let the wonders begin." He made waterfalls flow backward, made hippos float in the air, and even turned Bobo the bunny's carrot into a violin that played on its own. Everyone clapped, laughed, and cheered. But just as Professor Hootle was about to perform his biggest final trick, the wind began to howl. The stars vanished. A thundercloud appeared out of nowhere. The magic box on stage was hit by a lightning bolt, and all the magical things started going haywire. Balloons turned into buzzing bees, floating hippos fell into the bushes, and glitter rained down endlessly. "Oh no," shouted Professor Hootle. "My magic is out of control." The jungle panicked, except for Zazu the zebra, who stepped forward, his hooves shaking but his heart strong. Professor Hootle, maybe I can help," he said quietly. Everyone turned. "You?" asked the owl, surprised. "But, you're just Zazu." Zazu took a deep breath, pulled a vine from his saddlebag, and tied it into a shape. Then he tossed some river stones into the air, whispering a rhyme he had practiced 1,000 times. Suddenly, the glitter stopped. The bees turned back into balloons. The hippos floated gently back into the pond. The entire jungle fell silent. Then, clap, cheer, hooray. Professor Hootle smiled. "Dear Zazu, it looks like you are a true magician too. Will you join me next year as my assistant?" Zazu blushed. "Yes, I'd love to." From that day on, Zazu was no longer the shy zebra in the corner. He was the great Zazu the magical, and every animal respected him not only for his tricks, but for his courage to help when it mattered most. And every year, the magical show of Jamboree Jungle got better and better, with 2 magicians on stage and a whole jungle of friends cheering them on. Once upon a time, deep down in the sparkling blue sea, lived a curious and kind little mermaid named Mira. She had shiny teal fins, long flowing hair made of seaweed silk, and a necklace made of glowing pearls. One sunny morning, Mira was playing hide and seek with her best friends, Toto the tiny turtle and Blinky the jellyfish, when she found an old, dusty bottle buried in the sand. Inside was a map. Oh wow, a treasure map. Mira squealed with excitement. The map had a big red X marked near the coral caves, a place no one had visited in years because it was said to be guarded by the sleepy sea dragon, Snorlo. But Mira wasn't scared. Let's go on an adventure, she said. Together, Mira, Toto, and Blinky followed the map through swirly seaweed forests and bubbly lava rocks. Along the way, they helped a crab stuck in a clam shell and sang songs with a school of dancing fish. When they reached the coral caves, Snorlo was indeed sleeping, snoring bubbles the size of treasure chests. Mira tiptoed, tail finned, gently and found the treasure chest hidden behind a glowing coral. When she opened it, sparkles flew out. Inside were shiny shells, rainbow pearls, and a magical crown that could make sea creatures giggle. Snorlo woke up, but instead of being angry, he laughed and joined their party. "It's been ages since someone visited me," he said with a yawn and a grin. From that day on, Mira and her friends threw underwater treasure parties every full moon, and everyone in the ocean was invited.